Did you ever kind of wonder what it would have been like if you were able to, much like Eric Carr did, develop your own makeup? Is that something that ever crossed your mind, and what you would have been, the character you would have been?
Well, I was so aware of the struggles of any KISS member with that. Eric was tortured at the last minute. He was supposed to be a hawk and looked like a big bird.
Yeah.
And at the last minute, realized you came up with the fox. You know, what a lightning bolt decision for him. You know what I mean? Because there have been images of the hawk or something that look ridiculous. Vinny, when they had to change his name from Cassano to Vinnie Vincent, and then Gene, I think, came up with the Ankh Warrior, whatever.
Yeah.
Not easy to do this stuff, even though we know there are enough creative people out there that could evolve characters, just like many comic book series and Marvel things. You know what I mean? There's always new things. I'm so relieved they didn't have to go beyond that. I always joked I'd be the dog. There was a cat. You know what I mean? I mean, during the pandemic, there was a contest in Europe that somebody came up with it's a takeoff of a magician, the Magi or something, you know, and it was, but nothing that I'm just glad I never had to do it. And I get the question, but again, it just wasn't meant to be, and that's fine with me.
Now that KISS, has played their final show, apparently. And I know you've been asked this before, but I mean, Ace and Peter, sure, but why weren't you invited to that final show? That's a question a lot of fans have, because that would have been a great send-off to have you come out there and to have, and of course, Ace and Peter. Like, why do you think that didn't happen?
I really don't know, but I'm certain that no matter what kind of invitations you might have heard at the start of the end of the road tour, which was actually probably 3 years before it happened because of the pandemic, it got very messy. But I really don't believe. I mean, I could see possibly discussions with Ace or Peter that didn't go well, but I don't know that for a fact. Do you know what I'm saying? Meaning, there was a lot of posturing from Ace on Eddie Trunk's show about how much money he'd want or this or that, which sometimes is best not for the public to hear. Yeah. But I really think that they were just so in the moment of celebrating something new, which is presenting the avatars, that they just forgot about what I like to call history, which is everyone involved with this group. And I bet they had more things planned for that night that didn't happen. But either way, they could have done more. And I already knew, like, over 6 months before the end show, that I wasn't getting a real invitation. And even I remember one of the big fan clubs from Europe invited me to their event, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to New York City. I mean, I'm flattered they'd want me to be there, and I'm sure they were even talking about a reasonable amount of money for me to be at their party. But then I'm in New York City. If I'm going to New York City, I live, in Vegas. If I'm going to New York City, I should be invited by the band, not by a fan club. You know what I mean? Or, even though their intentions were great. So it's a question that only Gene and Paul could answer.